News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moskow.
Karen, let's begin with the race to the midterms. New York held primary elections last night, and in New York City, it was a big night for Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Three of the Democratic Socialist mayor's favored House candidates swept to victory, including former city comptroller Brad Lander. He unseated two-term Congressman Dan Goldman in the 10th district with almost 66% of the vote.
Solidarity is the force that we need to vanquish Trump's fascism, to abolish ICE, and to stand up to the billionaires who are rigging our economy.
That was Brad Lander declaring victory last night. He'll face Republican Jennifer Moore, who ran uncontested in the general election in November.
Well, Nathan, it was a closer race for another Mamdani-backed candidate in the 13th district, but with 88% of votes counted, activist Elisa Avila Chevalier is projected to defeat incumbent Adriano Espaillat 49 to 46%. And in the 7th district race to succeed retiring Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez, Mamdani-backed state lawmaker Claire Valdez won with 56% of the vote. Velázquez endorsed Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso in that race. He took just 36% of the vote.
And in the crowded race for retiring Congressman Jerry Nadler's seat, Karen, Mayor Mamdani did not make an endorsement, but that race went to Micah Lasher. He won with 39% of the vote in a field that included Kennedy grandson Jack Schlossberg, Trump critic George Conway, and State Assemblyman Alex Boris. Lasher is a former aide to Michael Bloomberg, the founder and majority owner of Bloomberg radio parent company Bloomberg LP. Bloomberg endorsed Lasher in the race. He'll face Republican Caroline Schinkel this fall.
Nathan, Kate Conley defeated a field of four other Democrats in New York's 17th district with 49% of the vote. Democrats are hoping to unseat Republican Congressman Mike Lawler in that Hudson Valley swing district in November.
And some important primaries were held in Maryland last night as well. Karen, Governor Wes Moore easily won his Democratic primary with almost 88% of the vote. He'll face Republican Dan Cox in November for a rematch of their 2022 race. Cox took 45% in the GOP primary. In House races, State Delegate Adrian Boafo beat a crowded field of Democrats for retiring Congressman Steny Hoyer's 5th District seat with 32% of the vote. Boafo used to work for Hoyer, and he picked up donations from tech firms, the crypto industry, and the pro-Israel AIPAC.
And in Maryland's 6th district, Nathan, incumbent April McLean Delaney won a primary challenge from the man she succeeded in 2022, David Trone, 44 to 37%. Trone loaned his own campaign about $25 million, while McLean Delaney lent herself more than $7 million. Delaney will face Republican Robin Ficker in November. He won the Republican primary with 43% of the vote.
And it was a runoff election night in the South Carolina Republican governor's race, Karen, with nearly all those votes counted. State Attorney General Alan Wilson defeated Lieutenant Governor Pamela Yvette by more than 2-to-1 margin, 69 to 31%. President Trump endorsed Yvette in the primary, but last week he said he'd be happy with either candidate. Wilson will face State Representative Jermaine Johnson in November. He won the Democratic primary outright 2 weeks ago. Now, Republican Nancy Mace lost the GOP primary for governor in the runoff to succeed her in South Carolina's 1st House District. Charleston County Councilmember Jenny Costa Honeycutt defeated State Representative Mark Smith 54 to 46%.
Finally, Nathan, there was one more race to watch in Utah last night. This was in the 1st Congressional District near Salt Lake City, which was recently redrawn to favor Democrats. Former Congressman Ben McAdams won that race against 3 progressive candidates with 56% of the vote.
Okay, Karen, let's turn now to the latest on the Middle East. President Trump is defending his deal with Iran as he faces growing domestic pressure over his strategy. The president says Iran will only be able to use funds released from frozen accounts to buy food and medical supplies from the United States, but Tehran is disputing those comments.
They're wrong. They're wrong. They know they're wrong. They told us inside, and we have it down 100% inspections. And if they were right, I'd cancel the meetings right now.
And in a post on social media, the president said the billions in unlocked financing would go into escrow controlled by the USA and be used to purchase American-grown products such as corn, wheat, and soybeans. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian says his country's nuclear missile program was not included in the memorandum of understanding with the U.S. and would not be negotiated.
Our missile program was not included in the MOU, and it shall not be. I would like to say that if it was not for Iran's Iran's missile capabilities to defend ourselves, our country would have been plundered and destroyed by the Zionist regime and the U.S., like Gaza.
Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian spoke through an interpreter. Meanwhile, Iran and Oman say they'll begin work on finding an agreement over future administration of the Strait of Hormuz, including the cost of managing transit.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moskow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.